Hey, what's up, nerds? Second Dark Phoenix trailer came out, and I was a little underwhelmed. I know a lot of people think it's way better than the first, and I guess it is, but that's a pretty low bar to set. In this video, I'm going to play the trailer, pausing it here and there to talk about it, and at the end, talk about the real reason why I think this movie's going to suck. Alright, let's go.
Why did you make me do that?
Sophie Turner. I mean, a lot of people like her, but to me, Sansa from Game of Thrones is my least favorite character on the entire show. And I really didn't like Sophie Turner as Jean Grey either. In the comics and in the cartoons, Jean Grey always came off as like kind of a confident, powerful woman. And Sophie Turner just doesn't come off that way to me. I know a lot of people love her, but I don't know. I'm just not a big Sophie Turner fan. And this shot right here, like, I love the X-Men lining up for a battle, but the way these costumes are designed, from the back, they look like Star Trek uniforms. And I'm not sure why they decided to make the back of Professor X's chair look like the flag of Scotland. I know it's supposed to be an X for X-Men, but that's all I see. I just see the Scottish flag on there.
Look at me.
Is it just me? Or does this look like they didn't even put her in blue makeup and they just kind of CGI'd Jennifer Lawrence blue and put maybe the world's worst wig on her? I don't know why in the other films she just looked darker and a little shinier, but this almost looks like they CGI'd her blue to me. I mean, they probably didn't, but I don't know. This has got to be the worst Mystique makeup yet.
Focus on my voice. I'm not giving up on you, Jean. She was my friend. You're my family, Jean. Stop. No matter what. Stop.
Okay, so I guess they pretty much don't give a shit about spoiling the fact that Mystique is going to die in this film. I suppose we all could have guessed that was going to happen, especially with Jennifer Lawrence not really wanting to be in these movies, and this being like the last X-Men movie, so some of them can die. But why you gotta spoil it in the trailer, like to the exact moment it's going to happen? I mean, it could be some misdirection and she's not going to die in this instance or at all, but I mean, it pretty much looks like that's what's going to happen. Kind of dumb. I wish they would save more for just the movie.
Look, you're special, Jean. And if you stop fighting that force inside you, if you embrace it.
So I'm guessing Jessica Chastain is going to be just a manifestation of the Phoenix Force. I guess that is a better way of kind of like explaining a little bit of what the Phoenix Force is without it just being a voice in her head. And the fact that in the comics, the Dark Phoenix saga is like actually a saga and you can't really fit it into a 2-hour movie because she was like the Phoenix before the Dark Phoenix saga, you know? It's just something that doesn't fit into a 2-hour movie. So I can see why they might make up like an easy way to explain everything with Jessica Chastain's character. Because in reality, like the Dark Phoenix saga should be like a trilogy of movies.
He will possess the very power of a god.
Like this scene in the spaceship should have taken place like 2 movies ago, you know? So it actually makes sense that Jean Grey has the Phoenix Force already inside her. They kind of like alluded to the Phoenix Force already being in her in X-Men Apocalypse, you know, like another really horrible movie. So maybe this is like a flashback, but I don't think so. I think it's just X-Men timeline continuing to be kind of like messed up in these movies and not making really any sense. And look at this. Sophie Turner is a 23-year-old actress. I mean, she's a young girl. Why do they have her dressed up like a 40-year-old substitute teacher? Like everything, the makeup, the hair, her outfit, everything looks like she's like a 40-year-old substitute teacher or something. It's ridiculous.
쇼키라서.
Okay, this right here, I think is maybe the coolest part of the trailer. Since this is the last Fox X-Men movie, if they have the balls to have the Dark Phoenix crush Magneto's head with his own helmet, like just turn that helmet into the size of a golf ball and just pulverize his head and then just have the body drop off, you know, that would be pretty awesome. I doubt they will ever do that, but if they're going to kill him off, that wouldn't be a bad way to do it.
Tell me how we fix this, Charles. Tell me what to do.
I can't stand this actor that is Cyclops. I mean, nothing against the kid, you know, but I think it's the guy from Ready Player One. And he just doesn't seem like Cyclops to me either. Like, he doesn't seem like a leader. And I know they're supposed to be a little younger in this, but I don't know. I don't like young Cyclops and young Jean Grey, you know, especially if it's by the time that she's a Dark Phoenix. You know, they're not young anymore. They're supposed to be like, he's supposed to be a man. And this guy just doesn't seem like Cyclops to me.
I don't know what to do.
What they don't understand, they fear, and what they fear, they seek to destroy.
This will probably be the coolest scene in the movie again. That's something that Fox gets exactly right, is the Quicksilver scene. I mean, this looks pretty cool. Not sure how much sense it makes that just because he moves fast, he can like walk on these little particles, but it's gonna be cool. I'm pretty sure he'll probably get really close to her, about to like knock her out or something, and she'll blast his ass across the screen.
This is your fault, Charles. I tried to protect you.
Whoa, is that actually James McAvoy? Or is that like a different actor, like to play young James McAvoy? Like, I don't know. It seems like James McAvoy looks young, you know, already. He looks like he's 25 to me. He's just got a young face. I don't know. I don't know if it's the hair. I don't know. His nose just looks really big. He looks like the guy from Nickelback. I don't know. He just looks really weird here. I don't know if they did some kind of like de-aging CGI or something to just make him look strange.
I'm scared.
This looks like a total set. I'm scared that this movie might start out okay and is just gonna completely devolve into like a CGI fuckfest with the Dark Phoenix kind of just in the middle, standing around in the middle and doing a bunch of energy blasts and not being able to really tell what's going on, and just a bunch of CGI lightning and fire and just a lot of bullshit. The way movies in the 90s ended or something.
When I lose control, bad things happen to people I love.
The girl dies.
She's still Jean. We can still help her.
Sometimes you want to believe people as something that they are not.
You know, I really like Michael Fassbender as Magneto. One of those instances where, you know, it proves that he doesn't have to look like he looks in the comic books. He doesn't have to have the exact same, you know, origins or anything, because he's played by a really good actor. I mean, he's just standing there, but the look on his face does convey that, you know, he knows what he's doing is pretty pointless, that he's going to be defeated. And yeah, kind of sorry to see him go as Magneto.
By the time you realize who they are,
Man, do I hate this effect of like her veins being like fired up. It looks so bad. It kind of reminds me of the close-ups of God, what's that guy's name? Topher Grace in Spider-Man 3 when he was Venom, right? And the Venom mask would peel away to show the actor's face, but it would still leave like some black veins. It looks just like that to me, but with like fiery effect. I mean, her hair's already red, but I just wish they would make her just kind of like look more like the Phoenix. I wish she would have been wearing like, I don't know, like a red spandex suit when the Phoenix Force hit her, so it kind of makes sense that she's wearing that, you know? And just make her hair like fire. Just make it fire. The eyes look kind of cool, but no. And the fact that she's wearing like a long trench coat as well just reminds me of Famke Janssen as Dark Phoenix in X-Men The Last Stand, which is one of the worst X-Men movies. And I find it completely bizarre that they would put her in a long trench coat to remind you of that. It's just such a dumb decision to me.
it's too late.
I like this actress as Storm. She kind of does look like a young Halle Berry. The white hair actually looks natural on her. It doesn't look like a wig. She looks really good, and I'm happy that she actually has an African accent this time. To me, this is a big improvement. This is something that bugs me when they make X-Men movies, and they always resort to, let's take away the power from the mutants. Like, gee, what makes mutants cool? Their powers, right? So they always go, well, let's take them away. It's just stupid to me. Like, I wish they could come up with some better writing where key plot points don't revolve around the X-Men losing their powers, because that's actually never even made sense to me. The actual power suppressant collars aren't as bad, but when you think about it, that's like if you're watching a movie about sprinters or something, right? And they invented a collar that suppressed her ability to run fast, or, you know, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, the collars I can let go. I mean, this isn't as bad as like an injection that takes the powers away. That stuff I really hate. The collars aren't as bad. Doesn't make much sense, but you forgive it if it's an interesting story like Days of Future Past. But they resort to this gimmick way too much in these movies.
She's coming.
You know, you think that if they have the technology to create collars that suppress mutant powers, they somehow put that technology in like a goddamn gun or like something that shoots out a damn net with that stuff on it. Because if guns could defeat mutants, they wouldn't need those collars, right? They could just point the gun at the mutants. It's just so dumb. Like if I was those guards and I saw something bang on the door like that, I would just, you know what, time to go. You know, it's time to get out of here because what are we gonna do? Shoot whatever's behind there? One of the reasons I don't like, you know, collars and things like that, but anyway. So here it looks like the Dark Phoenix final form. And yeah, she's still wearing the trench coat. She looks a little bit more like the Phoenix. I still wish there was like more fire. She wasn't wearing her substitute teacher outfit. Make her look badass, but this doesn't to me. But yeah, this seems to be her final form here, and it does. I mean, it looks like Famke Janssen in The Last Stand. Not sure what they're thinking. Alright, so obviously there's a lot of stuff I don't like about this trailer. And this movie has gotten a lot of bad press, right? That there's bad test screenings. I don't put too much stock in the test screenings or the fact that there's a lot of reshoots. Because like, you know, Rogue One had a lot of reshoots, and I think Rogue One is one of the better Star Wars movies ever. So that doesn't worry me too much. What does worry me though is that the guy that's directing this is Simon Kinberg. So this guy's writing credits are XXX State of the Union, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, X-Men The Last Stand. Why in the world would you have the writer of X-Men The Last Stand, which was the first time they totally screwed up the Dark Phoenix? I mean, when have you ever heard of giving a property to a guy to do over again when he already screwed up the first one? That makes absolutely no sense to me. He also did Jumper. I've heard of that. I forget what that was. I don't think it was very good. 2009 Sherlock Holmes. This Means War. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. X-Men Days of Future Past, which I think is one of the better X-Men movies. I really like that one. I don't know. He must have just gotten really lucky that time, or he had some help or something, because that one actually isn't bad. There's some dumb shit in that too, but it's actually, I think, pretty good. I actually love Days of Future Past, so you know, it gives me a little bit of hope. He also has a writing credit on Fantastic Four, right? Like the newer one, the worst one. And this is why I think maybe Days of Future Past was a fluke, was because he also did X-Men Apocalypse, which is really bad. Like, and this reminds me of X-Men Apocalypse a little bit. Like, I feel like this Dark Phoenix movie is going to devolve into nothing but CGI nonsense like X-Men Apocalypse did. Like, it was just such nonsense at the end. And now he's not only writing Dark Phoenix, he's also producing and directing. This is his directorial debut. This is what concerns me, man. Like, first time director. He already screwed up this story once, and he's got a lot of shit on that resume there. That's what worries me the most. And of course, this version of Dark Phoenix, like, story and character is nothing like it is in the comics. I'm not a big stickler for that because a lot of the X-Men movies aren't like they are in the comics. Like First Class, like, I mean, that's its own thing, and I thought that was pretty good. Days of Future Past does have like a lot of elements of the original story there. I mean, the core of it is there, but it's still not exact, right? None of the X-Men movies are, but this seems way off base, like where it's just Dark Phoenix in name alone. And if this is just as bad as X-Men Apocalypse, I will not be surprised at all. I'm still going to go watch this because I love the X-Men, but my expectations for this are very low. Alright guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I know I bitched a lot about in this video, but those of you that have subscribed to me for a long time know that that's what I do. And frankly, I think it's kind of boring to watch stuff where everyone's just like, oh, this looks cool, this looks cool, oh man, this looks awesome. Because, you know, this doesn't look awesome, so I'm not going to lie and pretend that this looks great. Alright guys, thanks for watching and take it easy.